So, it's your brother Samat with another lesson, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashmi Yahweh Shai, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. All right, so I'm coming with a quick lesson here, man. I'm not going to make this long at all. It's a real quick hitter. Bring out a few precepts, share a few words, and then, Lord willing, you'll be edified. So, from the title of this lesson, and as you can see on the illustration on the screen, all right, it has to do with discipline. All right, I'm not sure what I'm going to name it exactly, but all right, without discipline, you're nothing. All right, and discipline is going to be the chief thing that's ultimately going to keep you sane in this world and push you forward to the end, really. Obviously, it's faith, right? First and foremost, right? Faith, right? Faith is that gift that we get from Heavenly Father that allows us to be able to believe. But within that faith, we still have to exercise discipline, right? And that discipline is what ultimately dictates the decisions we make on a daily basis. All right? The decisions between the spirit and the flesh, all right, the decisions that will decide whether you live or whether you die. All right. Satan, right? Spiritual demon Satan is out here daily, all right? And what he's doing is he's seeking those that he can devour, all right? He's seeking to sift you as wheat, as the scriptures say, right? He wants to tear apart the righteous from Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai and cast them into the world, or make them in league with the world and not with the spirit. And that's his job, man. That's his job. That's what he was created to do. And he's not able to do anything more than what he was allowed to do. All right. So just let that be on your mind. Now, let's start with our first scripture. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 8, and we're going to read. We're going to read 6. We're going to start at 5. If riches be a possession to be desired in this life, what is richer than wisdom that worketh all things? Right? Because riches is a possession that men strive for in this world, right? And women too. All right. But we're just going to speak generally. We're going to say men. All right. That men strive for. And it's supposedly a great possession in this world, right? Just riches, right? What can you do with riches, right? When you talk about riches, we're talking about money. What can you do with money? Well, money is a defense. With money, you can buy things. With money, you can buy people. And when I say people, not in a sense of the old times when you can actually buy servants. Now you buy people in a way of service. You can buy people to do your laundry. You can pay people to drive you around. You can pay people to spend time with you. You know what I mean? You can pay for sex. All right, so many different things that riches can obtain. And when you have money, people flock. So if you're somebody who you're lonely, if you obtain money, you can now obtain love, even if it's fake love, right? But I think people who never had love don't really give a fuck, right? And these are worldly people. That's what riches can do, right? And that's something to be desired in this life. But as it says in Wisdom of Solomon 8 and 5, it says, what is richer than wisdom? That worketh all things, right? Well, wisdom worketh all things. All right? Wisdom is the principal thing, as the scriptures say. And that's in the book of Ecclesiastes, I want to say, or Proverbs. Let's see, Proverbs 4 and 7. Let's just get it. I wasn't going to grab it, but the Spirit brought it to mind. This is Proverbs 4, verse 7. And this is also from the wise King Solomon. Wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. So wisdom is the principal thing, man. It's the chief thing. All right, wisdom equates to discipline, right? And this scripture I'm going to bring out is going to solidify that statement. All right, Wisdom of Solomon 8. We're going to read at 6. And when you read Wisdom of Solomon, right? Obviously, I mean by the title, Wisdom of Solomon, right? It's going into the Wisdom of Solomon, and the beautiful thing about King Solomon is that when you read his books, Wisdom of Solomon, Proverbs, I believe Ecclesiastes, he speaks about wisdom in the personification of a woman. You know, he metaphorically speaks about wisdom as a woman, right? So he personifies wisdom. And he looks at wisdom as a beautiful and comely woman, right? Or it's the same thing, but I'm going to say a perfect and comely woman, right? So a very beautiful, perfect woman, you know, so a woman that you see and you just in your mind like, yo, she is perfect, from the way she looks, the way she walks, the way she talks, her spirit, everything. That's how Solomon looked at wisdom. And Solomon was also a man who had hundreds of women, right? Wives and concubines. So he was definitely a lover of women. And just like most men in this world are, especially men of stature and men of renown, right? So men who have a rulership mentality tend to love women and desire women. It's nature, right? It's lion nature. But because Solomon was that way, he personified wisdom as a woman, and because he did that, he sought after wisdom as if men do seek after women. Just how the scriptures talk about how the glory of a man is the woman, and how a man will go out of his wits for a woman, and how he will slay a dragon and sail from sea to sea in search of riches and glory just to bring it back to his love, right? So men lose their mind over women. But Solomon used that same desire that the average man has, and he applied that to wisdom. And therefore, he was known as the wisest man. And he was given wisdom. And with him getting that wisdom, everything else followed. As it says, it worketh all things. So with him just desiring wisdom, he obtained riches. He obtained power. He obtained status and glory. He obtained women. He obtained a love and genuine love, right? Because he brought peace and prosperity to the nation, you know? And being wise, you tend to be people flock to you because you can teach people things, and people feel safe and people feel encouraged around you. All right. So that's wisdom. Now let's keep going. Wisdom of Solomon 8 and 6. If prudence work, right, who of all that are is a more cunning workman than she? And if a man love righteousness, her labors are virtues, for she teacheth temperance and prudence, justice and fortitude, which are such things as men can have nothing more profitable in their life. So let's go through these words, right? We got 4 words here. And this is going to back up my statement when I said wisdom is discipline. And discipline is the result or the actions that you take to show forth your faith. Faith without works is dead. Your works are a result of your discipline. Your discipline is a result of your wisdom. All right, what is temperance? Well, temperance is discipline. Temperance means, it's the art of moderation and self-control, which goes into discipline. What is prudence? All right, prudence is being mindful, being having foresight, thinking about what you do before you do it, right? That's prudence, right? Let's see if we can get a definition to see if we can get having good judgment, right? Common sense, caution, right? And I don't really like the word caution. I think when you have caution or careful, I think those words have more of a negative mentality behind them. But good judgment, foresight, and prudence all stem from a place of positivity. All right. When you are prudent about a circumstance, you're not thinking negatively. You're just aware of all situations. When you say, I'm going to be cautious about what I do, that means you're looking at it from a negative standpoint instead of just going in there and giving your all and doing the best you can and then just monitoring everything else is going around you, right? Just like being careful. Being careful is another thing, all right? And that's just my perception of that. All right, what else where we have? We have justice. All right, what is justice? Well, justice is basically your morality, right? That's your morality. All right. What is your morals? What are your virtues? All right. All right. That's having good character. That's being fair, being balanced. That's justice, right? Which comes into discipline, right? Not being biased. Now, obviously, we're biased when it comes to the nation because the Most High is, but even amongst that, we deal with men accordingly. If you are not of our nation and you come to us humbly and meek, we're going to deal with you according to such. So like I scrolled, had a video of my daughter crying and, a toddler. And that's the spirit, man. I had a video just recorded of my daughter, her having a little temper tantrum because she couldn't get her way. She couldn't get her way, all right? And all she had to do was be patient, and she would have got exactly what she was asking for. Because she wasn't patient, right? She had a tantrum, and then she didn't get it, okay? And she's smart enough to know exactly what that means. But that just goes into the point. She has no discipline, but she's a toddler. She's 3 years old, right? They have to learn that. And the last word that we have here is fortitude, all right? So what does that word fortitude mean, all right? It's about being courageous, right? It's about having strength, character, all right, spirit, being long-suffering, all right? All those things are another result or of discipline, okay? You have to, if you are in a very dangerous situation where you have a choice to run or to fight is discipline because you're basically choosing potentially losing your life or being very physically harmed in order to stand on business. All right, let's go ahead and bring another precept. This is 1 Corinthians 9:25. Let's see, do I want to bring that one? No. Let's get Proverbs 25:28. He that have no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls. All right. So if you have no rule over your spirit, which is self-control, all right, you are likened to a city, all right, that is broken down with no walls. And when you have a city that has no walls, all right, the foundation thereof is damaged. Well, what happens to that city? All right, that city is easily invaded, all right, overthrown, susceptible to penetration from troops and animals and nature, you name it. All right, it's not a safe place to live. All right, so let's go ahead. Let me see if I can get that in another translation. I want to see in the NLT, and I'll check like the GNT. All right, so that Proverbs 25:28 in the GNT. If you cannot control your anger, you are as helpless as a city without walls open to attack. Beautiful. Let's see. The NLT. A person without self-control is like a city with broken down walls. Okay? Very simple. All right. I like that GNT because I had put that extra twist, open to attack. All right. And that's the point. And although it can be physical, actual physical attack, but those attacks really come from the standpoint of Satan. All right. As I quoted, he walketh about seeking whom he may devour. That's why it says to be vigilant and to be sober. All right. It's having temperance. All right. Being temperate in all things that you do, not overdoing too much, not being too comfortable, too content, all right, complacent. All right. That shows a lack of discipline. All right. Your life is a result of the actions you take. All right. Obviously, we don't have free will, but I do believe that the Most High gave us some sense of choice or control over our actions on a small scale. But obviously your destination is that what it is, and it's never going to change. All right? If you're going to be delivered, you're going to be delivered no matter what your life looks like. No matter what choices you make in life, they're all going to lead to you being delivered. If you're going to be killed in a car accident on a certain day and time in a certain place, no matter what choices you make in your life, no matter where you go in your life, you can move out the country. You can make a lot of money and move out the country. But if you're meant to die in a car accident in Philadelphia, PA on July 26, 2000, I don't know, 25, well, guess what? You will just so happen to be traveling to Philadelphia, PA that month around that time for whatever reason. It could be anything, man. And you'll be there. Now, obviously, you don't know this, but this is the Most High who will pull the strings, all right, so that his will can be done. All right, so have discipline, man. Control your actions. Control your choices. If you say you're going to do something, do it. If you say you're not going to do something, don't do it. All right. Now, obviously, you're not going to shoot 100% from the field, but more likely than not, you should be in a very positive percentage. All right. You should be shooting a very high percentage from the field in your daily actions. Because we know Paul spoke about how the things that he wants to do, he doesn't, and the things that he doesn't want to do, he does. All right. Just going into how the flesh is, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Okay. The flesh is weak, meaning it's easily susceptible to temptation, all right, and vanity and lies. The spirit is always willing to do the right thing, but the flesh is weak. But guess what? Our flesh is the one that's in rulership now, because what? The world is run by the wicked, all right? And because the world is run by the wicked, therefore wickedness reigns in the earth. And our flesh are strong when it comes to tempting, but it's weak to temptation, all right? It's like somebody who can throw a punch, knockout power. They got knockout power. One punch, you're done. But they can't take a punch. You know what I mean? That's how the body is. The body has one hit KO power, but can't take a punch to save his life. That's the flesh. All right. And your spirit is literally the ability to recover from that punch. All right. And then as you fortify your mind and you become stronger in the spirit, what happens is then the flesh starts to become, the flesh doesn't necessarily get weaker or stronger. All right, I should say this. The flesh doesn't get stronger to punches or temptations, but rather your spirit becomes so powerful that it's able to withstand the power of the punch. It's able to tell the body that this is not that deep. It's not that strong. It's not that powerful. And your body will do what? Follow suit. As you can see from the illustration, the mind controls the body. All right. So we're going to end off with 1 Corinthians 9:25, and then we're going to end it here. And every man that striveth for mastery is temperate in all things, disciplined, self-control, and moderate in all things. Now they that do it to obtain a corruptible crown, which are what? The riches and glory of this world, right? Possessions and things of this world that are able to be taken from you and stolen and destroyed, right? It rusts and corrupt. But we an incorruptible, all right? The incorruptible crown, which is what? The spiritual bodies, immortal life, eternal excellency, the ability to walk amongst the angels, Yahweh Shai and Yahweh himself. So Lord willing, this video was edifying. I pray you brothers and sisters endure the truth until the end, and only to the elect I say shalom.